Alright, so picking up where we left off. Um, well, I guess first I need everybody caught up on the notes. Do we need to do any kind of recap? It has been a number of months.
I read the notes. I'm good.
Think we could just jump into it.
Okie doke. In that case, we shall jump over to this. In Camp Vengeance.
Oh, wow.
Just a bit of a refresher here. You are inside of a rather crude timber fortification, a walled compound that has watchtowers and tents inside. It's encircled by a rather large ditch that's bristling with sharpened stakes. You came through a gatehouse that was facing the river, and on the shore of which you found some rowboats where you also tied off your own. I think you had two rowboats as well.
Yeah, we did.
In the ditch or moat or whatever you would like to call it, there's like scattered charred corpses and flayed animal carcasses and such. Um, and when you kind of made your way in here, you find that the camp itself is in rather dire conditions. A lot of the tents are very moldy and some of them kind of threadbare, clearly not made for long-term use within Cholt. And most of the soldiers and inhabitants of this camp, all of them seem to be just not doing so well. Different, forms of sickness or exhaustion, lots of, big bug bites or other, wounds and such. And yeah, last thing that happened was Flint was discussing with Sister Sias about some things. Got a bit of information and came back. I assume is coming back to the group. It is pretty early in the morning. You all spent the night previously uh, rowing down the river Soshin Star, I believe. And yeah, took a bit of exhaustion while doing so. And, yeah, so you all find yourselves more or less still kind of standing around just inside the gates, maybe leaning up against some of the palisades or catching your breath, relaxing a little bit after your journey. Yeah. You also spoke with Captain Ord Firebeard, was a dwarven member of the Order of the Gauntlet. And he said that that Commander Breakbone would probably want to speak with you all. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much all the catching up and scene setting stuff.
Did Firebeard say where Breakbone was?
Yeah, he's in the main command tent, more or less right in front of you guys.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, whenever you all are ready, we can, I guess, jump right into that discussion. Or is anything you guys want to do beforehand? Now would be a good time.
Lynn will be walking back through the mud after his conversation. He does say in a lower voice to the group, well, apparently Commander Breakbone is a bit stressed. As you can see, things aren't going so well around here. So, let's speak softly, and let's try not to piss the man off. And I'd say our goal is here to have him allow us to stay here and rest up for the next leg of our journey. Though I imagine he might be wanting help in some variety. So, just keep your tongue less sharp, if you know what I mean.
Interesting. A wayward commander who's a little paranoid.
Not wayward. I think he's very committed, and sometimes through that zeal, things get a little clouded. I'm sure that chap means well. He's just a bit harsh sounding.
Hmm.
Well, I suppose if we must, but we really need, well, I really need to get some rest at some point. But by all means, let's try to hurry this along.
Which is why this is so important. If we mess this up, we're going to get kicked out. So, best behavior.
Why? How is it that such an encampment has fallen to such disease and malady? Aren't these supposed to be professional soldiers?
See, best to get that out of your system before we enter the tent, I think.
Ah, questioning Breakbones onto the rundown nature of his camp may not be the best approach. Would the
Correct.
commander not be open to such advice from those who have understood disease and could lend a hand?
You could attempt to use that as leverage, although
Leverage?
commend it.
I would not leverage anything. These people are sick.
Well, then you have something to offer him. Assistance, not questions. But again, I just speak on what I've seen from folks in authority, and best to step lightly, lest you be digging out the latrines on your own.
Well, with a clerical offender at my side, at our side, he would, I would imagine, not dare try to have us dig latrines when we offer assistance. A commander that does such a thing, well, would be unfit to command.
Pretty high specific opinions coming from someone who I doubt has really served. No offense.
I have seen much of the world, and you're right, I may not have served in a military capacity, but I am no stranger to healing the ill. I am a druid, after all. We have a certain sense of obligation.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you, is all I'll say on that front. Right, well, let's get this over with.
And right as you about, finish that little conversation and such, the flaps of the tent do open, and two guards just outside or on either side kind of stand a little more upright at attention, and you see Ford Firebeard make his way back out. Quickly followed by another captain. This one is a human woman. Similar garb and armor and such as Ford or Captain Firebeard. And they are also followed by a rather noble, regal-looking man in a rather fine breastplate. And they all kind of make their way out. The guards kind of step aside. And the commander kind of walks out and looks at all of you and says, "Ah, these are the travelers you mentioned, Captain Firebeard. That's right, Captain. Came in by ship or boat along the river this morning. Ah, good, they have boats. I have need of them and using them both. Kind of like scratches the chin. So, I understand you all want to spend time here in our camp. Well, unfortunately, I don't think we have the room or time for this. You understand, I have many sick and wounded that need immediate attention, and unfortunately, our resources are running low. So, in that case, I will be conscripting you all and commandeering your vessels, and you will all be taking these sick and wounded back to Port Nyanzaru for me. They are all, as I said, in dire need. And at that, Sister Sias kind of approaches from outside of from the other tent, that one of the other medical tents, and says, well, Commander, that seems rather drastic, don't you think? They just arrived, and look at them, they are clearly exhausted, been through a bit of ordeal on their way here. At least give them a day or so to, collect themselves, recuperate. And Undril also kind of speaks up for all of you. Yes, Commander, they have been most accommodating in escorting me here and bringing these orders from headquarters. Perhaps something a little more reasonable that you could ask of them. And he kind of looks at both of them, narrows his eyes a bit, but kind of nods his head. Yes, no, you're right, of course. Well, perhaps you give yourselves a day or so. You may stay in camp, rest up, and not that we have many provisions, but what we have will be open to you. And I will consider a secondary request, a different requirement of you. Yes. He kind of gets a little distracted for a moment, looking around at the camp again. Yeah, just kind of stares at you all for a minute, just kind of waiting for some kind of acknowledgement or response.
Well, I can't speak for everyone here, but this conscripting, I don't think I agree to that. We are here to explore the ruins. If there's something light that we can help you with, I'm sure we'll be happy to assist. As Emelec is the one who, well, I suppose, benefactor doesn't seem the right word, but he did ask us to come along. Uh, so yes, no to this conscripting for me. Yes to potentially helping for a bit.
I'd have to agree. We really don't have the time. We really go.
You were breaking up a bit there, Scott. What were you saying? Hard to hear you.
I was saying, can you hear me right now?
Yes.
I was saying we don't have enough time going.
He kind of, the commander kind of, again, narrows his eyes at all of you and then chuckles a little bit to himself. Says, right, agree. As if you have a choice in conscription. I don't think you understand exactly how that works, but you do wish to stay in my camp and, be safe for some time, yes? Well, you are going to work if you're going to stay here and use our resources and accompany my men.
I believe, sir, our work was in escorting the lady here to this camp to bring you your orders from your superiors. That was our task.
Yes, well, that may have been your task, and now that you are here, consider yourselves honorary, if not just temporary, members of the Order of the Gauntlet.
Could I try to like rack my brain for the information I know about the Order of the Gauntlet to see if they even have such a thing in their order? Seems kind of odd.
Um, sure. Roll a history check.
All right, it will be a disadvantage, so see how that goes. Oh, well, that sucks. I didn't realize I have to roll it.
Yeah, with an 8, you're not like the name Order of the Gauntlets. They're pretty prominent throughout Horil or the Forgotten Realms or whichever whatever we call this world we're in right now. But aside from that, you're not familiar enough with their protocols and such.
Well, then I will continue. I would be curious to know about the precedent of such subscription orders to, well, regular individuals outside of the order, sir.
The precedent is that we are in a time of dire need. The Order has authority here, as this is our camp and our region of the jungle.
You lay claim to this whole region of the jungle. Wouldn't the people of Cholt themselves dispute such a claim?
The people of Cholt. You mean the people of Port Nyanzaru who cannot defend anything outside of their little city?
No, I mean the people of this jungle. Cholt is an old place with an indigenous population who would lay claim to it. Port Nyanzaru is a relatively recent colonial adventure.
I'm sorry, son, you clearly have not been here for very long. There are no settlements or anything. There is no Tolton people outside of Port Nyanzaru. This is wild territory. What little remained
That
of the Cholton people have been driven back to Port Nyanzaru, and that is all they have left. And
I'm
as I understand it, the Flaming Fist seems to have claimed much of this territory as well. They are not Cholton, and yet they patrol these areas, claim treasures. There's nothing these Choltons can do about it because the Cholton people do not exist anymore. It is simply Port Nyanzaru.
Do I see a reaction from the guides when he says this?
Give me a perception check. Okay. Hugh doesn't really seem phased by this. He's just kind of, looking on as if this is all pretty factual information. Iku seems a little saddened by what he says, but she doesn't seem to be disagreeing or anything, or have any kind of, real negative look on her face.
Okay.
Zarek has drifted off into deep thought about what the commander has said. It does not sit right with him at all.
I think Ryoku will put her head towards Flint. Flint, this I think now is the perfect time for, you know, uh, what do they say? Military to military talk. Yes, yes, you understand him.
Yes, and I think we're gonna have to do what the man says unless we come up with a compromise. Commander Breakbone, understand that you're needing assistance with some of the some of your men who are injured, diseased, and sick. Is that the gist of it?
Yes, this damnable jungle seems to be as blight-driven as the undead themselves. I'm down to half strength at best, as far as my numbers are concerned here.
See, it rough go of it. The undead, they keep coming, and they are relentless. So I can understand the difficulty of such a thing. You fight wilderness and undeath alike. But perhaps we could assist you on site rather than bringing your men all the way back up to port. You see, I am a cleric of Lathander, and we have a servant of Bahamut as well. Perhaps we might look at your worse off men and perhaps we can cure them here rather than risk the dangerous journey back to port. Um, does that sound reasonable to you, sir?
Well, if you believe your capabilities are superior to Sister Sias here, you're more than welcome to do what you can for them. If this is agreeable to you, sister. And she just kind of, closes her eyes slowly and nods in agreement. Aside from that, if you can, at least help some of our men. You certainly won't be required to head all the way back to port, but there might be another request I might make of you.
That sounds perfectly reasonable for our ability to stay within the walls that your men have worked so hard to maintain and defend. We are most thankful for that, and in exchange, we will certainly help in whatever way we can. And thank you for allowing us the opportunity to assist you, sir.
He kind of smiles at that a little bit and says, excellent. Most reasonable. Nice to have a adventurer who understands the chain of command.
A man of the watch back in Waterdeep. Such are how things are run back there. You might say I'm used to it.
That is good to hear. Well, I have plans to make, maps to pour over, other duties that are calling me. Firebeard, Alana, take care of them as you will. Make sure they are, kind of looks around again, comfortable. And come and see me when you are finished. We have duties to take care of. They both kind of just, clasp their fists over their chests and bow in, not like servitude, but, respect. And salute, if you will.
Can I get a Jesus Christ, insight check on this guy just to see, like, he seems like he has no idea what he's doing or like something's going on that he might be hiding potentially.
Sure, give me insight.
Uh, oh, and all my checks are at disadvantage, so that perception one would have been an 8. So I probably didn't notice that on her.
Nah, it's fine. We don't need to retcon anything.
And then that's for the insight, so 12.
Okay. Good enough. He's a little difficult to read, but it's very clear. Looking around at this camp, Anywhere else in the world, this camp would be pristine. It would be, the picture of what you would imagine a fortress would be, a small, encampment for such a force. But here in the jungle, this is not at all what this commander is used to, and he is clearly having a lot of trouble adjusting and adapting to this environment.
Okay.
But if there's nothing else, he kind of quickly turns on his heel and makes his way back into his tent. And you were all kind of left there in the rain with a couple of officers, and you see, the other warriors and guards and such just kind of moseying about, patrolling, resting, eating. A lot of people coming out of their tents and getting ready for, their morning's duties and shifts and such.
Well, that certainly could have gone worse.
He seems terribly out of sorts to be leading such a expedition.
Well, uh, uh I kind of get the sense that he's a bit of how do they say, um, out of his depth. Yes, I think that is the term. Out of his depth, or inside of his depth. Whichever. I don't believe he truly knows how to deal with well, this environment. Maybe somebody didn't do enough research before they came.
I could agree with that. They're trained to fight the scourge of the undead, not Jolt itself. I think, based on this and, well, based on the last camp we saw, it hasn't been going well for these groups. But I think best make ourselves useful. If we don't find a niche here, he will certainly order us back to port. So hopefully, especially you and I, Imelek, and you as well, Zarek, perhaps our healing magics might heal his men enough that we might stay here and not be sent back.
I suppose that brings up another question. Well, we all have come out here for different reasons, obviously. One of those has potentially been completed. Uh, how long are you all planning on staying here?
Given the choice, a couple days. If I can be of help here, maybe 3 or 4. But certainly, I would prefer not to be delayed here any longer than need be. But Lathander wills it. Lathander wills his light in places where I am directed to go. And this might be one of those places for a time.
Well, I can certainly. You see, she kind of rubs her chin a bit, scratches her head. Well, we're all tired, and we have been through a bit of a rough time coming here. I could suddenly use maybe 2 days of rest. Uh, so I can agree to 3 days, but I don't know if I would want to stay here longer than that. We have the guides who we've already paid to take us around and search the ruins. We have quite a long ways to go. So I can do 3, if that is acceptable.
Well, it's not like the ruins
Yes.
are gonna go walk off on themselves, are they? We have time.
Well, our obligation to this leg of the journey ended when we delivered the lady to and brought the orders here. If this camp is in such disarray with a unorganized commander, I fear we run the risk of having ourselves drawn into an untenable situation if we remain.
I suppose it's
You
a
are
risk, but I think if we
here,
show our help and our usefulness, I don't think we'll be kept over long.
no, but we are here also here for you to find out certain information, Flint. Once you find out that information and we are recovered, does not our interest end in this location?
That depends on a bit of philosophy. If you are capable of healing a man, would you choose not to?
If that man will continue to get sick because he refuses to leave this poisoned area, it would be like trying to beat back a tidal wave. You may build a dike high enough, but the water will always come over, and at some point you must go further inland.
So you see all these as dead men then?
I see them as foolish outsiders entering a land that they do not understand or properly prepared themselves for.
They're just soldiers, mate. They didn't necessarily choose, but they chose
And
to fight the undeath, and I think that's a worthy purpose. But I get your meaning. I would not hold us up for too long, but understand why delaying and helping. There's some sense in that.
well, I will lend aid where I can. I was not necessarily trained in the healing arts, but my berries and my spirit guardian or my healing spirits may be able to heal some ailments.
Good. We show those talents of yours. I think it will certainly allow us more freedom in this position we find ourselves in. Imlek, how's all this sound? I'm making some assumptions. I figured you lot of Bahamut might have some disease control, yeah?
Maybe able to aid a little. Probably nowhere on par to yours, but we'll assist.
Right, well, thank you, Mizek. Let's head off with Sister Sias and see what we can do about these wounded men. And Ryoko Davin, guess make yourselves useful, rest up.
Well, yes. I think it's best if I at least get a bit of sleep. And then tomorrow, if they have, well, I don't know if they have a hunting party or something. Maybe perhaps I can join them and help forage and find something around here. Well, at this point, I think I rather know this place more thoroughly than they do.
That's a great idea. You might even be able to teach them a thing or two about fending for themselves out here. That's smart.
Yes, yes. But tomorrow, sleep fast, please.
So it sounds like three of us, Sister Sias, the other two resting. Or maybe stealing. Davin is a rogue after all.
Dun, dun, dun.
Alrighty. Yeah, those of you going with Sister Sias, you see, she and Undrill kind of introduce themselves, and Sister Sias seems to be quite relieved that there's another cleric here. Yeah, Sister Sias kind of takes you guys over to the two medical tents, and It is very clear. I mean, the second you even get near the flaps to them, and before you even like go inside, the smell of sick and a bit of rot is very pungent. And you can hear the moans and groans of those inside, and you look in, and there are a couple of acolytes that are tending to them, but the acolytes themselves just look absolutely exhausted. All of their magic and everything seems to also just be exhausted as well. They don't really have much left. They're kind of all on their last legs. It looks like there's probably about half a dozen standard troops or guards kind of laid out, and then a couple of looking like lower ranked officers also kind of laid out as well. And Size kind of just turns to you all and this is the state of things here. Any help that you could give us would be most appreciated. You're very far, I believe.
Yes, we'll do what we can. Now, what are we looking at here? Who is poisoned? Who is diseased? And he whispers, "Are they all savable?"
She kind of nods at that and says, yeah, yes, I believe that at least most of them are they will survive their ailments. Number of diseases, of course. Just a number of wounds, but again, we are just at the end of our resources here. Too exhausted.
I can see. Well, here's what I'm thinking. If you can tell us which ones are diseased, poisoned, or just need a bit of healing, write it down. And for Lathander's sake, you all need to rest. You cannot help people in this state for much longer. Let us take over while you rest. But again, any information you can give us will allow us to treat them promptly.
Oh, that. It is a relief. Yeah. Very well. Very well. Okay, come with me. We have some soldiers that appear to be suffering from blue mist fever. This man here seems to be suffering from the shivering sickness. I'm concerned that in the other tent there are at least 2 cases of throat leeches, all of which are just not tended to. They can end up being death sentences.
So we
Throat
have
leeches,
4
I'm-
critical patients.
We'll say, yeah, out of those diseases, yeah, we'll say there's about 4 of them with, each of those. Blue mist fever, shivering sickness, throat leeches. The others look like they have different types of wounds from, probably patrolling out in the jungle or maybe attacks on the camp, things like that. Beast bites or scratches or undead wounds from, weapons or claws or whatever.
I unfortunately am not well versed in the curing of diseases or poisons, but I could tend to those with physical wounds, and if your water stores are running low, I can replenish them. And if your food is possibly gone sour, I can attempt to purify it.
I
I can heal wounds and poisons, but not diseases. What about you, Imalek?
I can cure the diseases. If I was at full strength, I could probably do 3. Today, I could probably cure only 1.
All right, then we'll see which one is the worst shape, and then come tomorrow, heal the rest as you can. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll do some looking. We'll see which one's worse off. I'll handle the wounds then. I have healing magics. I can at least get those wounds clean so they won't catch any other illnesses.
Then I will see to their water and food stores.
Sounds like we got a plan. Sister Sias and your helpers, go rest. We'll call you when we're done for the day.
Very well. I will dismiss my plates. Yes. And she kind of walks into one of the tents and dismisses them. So yes, you all can absolutely try to, take care of at least one of the diseases today and try to heal some of the wounds. We'll say, I guess it's up to you guys how many spell slots or how much of your resources you want to use here, and that'll kind of just determine what you all do.
So I will definitely cast Create or Destroy Water to fill up like a fresh water barrel. I don't know. That I would assume they're collecting most of their water from the river or rainwater, which would be highly contaminated.
Yeah, they
So I would
definitely
get them a
appear to be quite a few like rain catchers
yeah.
kind of dotted around. Water sources don't seem to be too dire, but definitely, they could be better. As far as food, they do
Yeah.
have some stores, in what few dry places they have. Other than that, they really just have like 4 very sickly looking goats kind of penned up. But they don't really seem to have other food stores other than, their sickly goats and their barely dry food.
Okay. So I will dump out one of the nastier barrels of water and use Create or Destroy Water in it to create, how much is it? It's 10 gallons of water for the ill patients. Give me 1 second. Is their food stores, does it look like they would be like what food they have be susceptible to disease or poison?
There are definitely some like dried meats and things like that that would keep for a while. There's also some, at least what they consider fresher, like fruits and such. Probably things they gathered from the forest or the jungle itself. But again, being Schultz, it's constantly raining, constantly just very humid and everything. So a lot of the dried meats may not be as dried as they once were or should be.
Okay, then I'm going to do 3 things. I'm going to do the Create or Destroy Water. I will use the Purify Food and Drink. And then I will also conjure the good berries to distribute amongst the ill soldiers to have them fed for the day and restore, what I create 10 and there's 6. So I'll give 2 to the most critical patients and 1 to the least critical. And I'll burn 3 spell slots doing that.
Okay. Absolutely doable. So you take pretty much a good chunk of the morning, probably close to the afternoon by the time you're done doing all that. Flint and Emelec, the 2 of you are going around attempting to heal some diseases and wounds as well.
Yeah, just one person this first day. I'm going to use 5 of my 5 points from my Lay of Hand pools to cure 1 disease. Probably
Okay.
one of the 3 throat leeches.
Are they all in same equal dire straits, or is there one that's above all the worst?
Generally they all look pretty even. We'll say the one there is one with, throat leeches that seems to be a little worse off than the rest. So yeah, you can definitely focus on that one, Emelec.
As for what I'm doing, I was figuring for the 2 wounded, 1 cure wounds apiece, if that's enough. If it's not enough, I can invest more.
I'd say it's definitely enough to at least close the wounds. Again, may not get them to 100% and back on the line or anything, but it will definitely go a long way to just close up those wounds.
Yeah, just close the wounds so they don't get infected, basically. So yeah, I'll use 2 cure wounds then, 1 on each wounded.
Alrighty. That
Well,
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
while Flynn is doing that, he will ask one of the wounded. All right, well, I'll take care of you here, sir. What happened out there? What got you here?
Oh, it was just it was just one of the patrols. We were just, out doing our normal duty, and the undead, they just came out of nowhere. There were too many of them.
So a group of them attacked you. That's always terrible. Did they seem organized or just a wild sort of mass that attacked you?
Well, there didn't seem to be anyone giving them orders or anything, if that's what you're asking. No, we were just, again, out on patrol in the rather thick or dense part of the jungle. Hard to see much further than a few feet ahead of us, and we just broke through the brush. We lost 4 of our members in the initial attack, but the rest of us managed to fight them off and get away.
Good. It's an awfully brave thing you're doing out here. And Flint does cast the magic to heal him. Let's stay on your guard. Keep your sword sharp.
Thank you so much. Rest here a little longer.
Sounds good. I'm not sure if your wound was infected, so take it easy for a day. If you have no fever tonight, I think you'll be all right.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you again.
And Flint will repeat the process for the second one. So if there's any new information, great. If not, yeah, he'll just collect that. These undead come up quickly and will swarm quickly, is what he pulls from that conversation.
Yeah, and the other one pretty much has a very similar story.
Flint nods, gives him a few encouraging words, and watches Emelec do his work just to see how his healing goes.
Yep, and Emelec, your lay on hands definitely. Like the person's throat is clearly just swollen and discolored and such, but as you kind of use your abilities, the swelling seems to subside a bit and kind of goes back to their natural coloring and everything. Again, still very exhausted and weak from the ordeal, but the worst of it seems to be taken care of.
Breathe, brother. You'll survive.
Very kind of weakly. Hey, thank you. Hey, thank you so much.
Kind of look over to Flint. You would think they'd have requested for more healers in a camp out in the jungle where disease is rampant.
Yeah, you think they would. I'd agree with that. Maybe they had no access to additional paladins, or they're truly just lost out here. Don't know how to prep for such an expedition.
And what is it they're searching for?
As far as I know about the group, Scourge of the Undead. They would see them wiped from the face of the world as much as possible. But in their zeal, I guess, planning went by the wayside.
A damn shame.
It is. Hopefully we can do what we can here, and if time allows, I might even spread some words amongst the soldiers about ways of avoiding such diseases. Cleanliness habits and things like that. Any kind of preventative measure. But thank you for doing this. I know I myself conscripted you in this, so thank you. You do justice to Bahamut's name.
There is glory in helping the weak. At least that's what we thought. I'll use the last bit of my healing prowess to just cure some wounds here and there.
I'll also play nurse for a bit longer here, with the others resting. I'll keep an eye out if you want to scout out the rest of the camp as well.
Perhaps I will do a little walk around once I'm done here.
Very good.
Alrighty. While you guys are doing that, Ryuko and Davin. What are you doing? Ryuko, you mentioned you were going to try to find somewhere to rest.
Yeah, just if she'll wander around knowing that the captain said that space is limited, so she'll see if there's like a corner area that's not really, that's out of the way, and set up her own tent and situation and head on in to rest a little bit.
Okay. You can definitely do that. There's also you notice there's a few soldiers kind of sleeping underneath some of the watchtowers in kind of like an open air type shelter. And there's definitely probably a little bit of space underneath one or two of the watchtowers that you could, you know, lay down as well.
Yeah, no. She sees groups of people and she actively goes the opposite way.
Alrighty.
Davin, but not the whole time.
Still having mic issues over there, Scott. It's really hard to hear you. Not sure why. Getting like every, I don't know, 10th word maybe.
Dang it.
Or dang it. I heard Davin, and then it was quiet, and then but.
Davin will be staying pretty close to Ryoku, to try and find a place to rest, but only for a short period of time because I only need a trance. And then I will be trying to find something useful for me to do. I'll probably end up trying to find where everybody else.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, looking around the camp, there's clear ways that, you being a little more familiar with this type of environment and such, you recognize that, like, there's not proper drainage from, the palisades and everything, and, all the water and everything just seems to be collecting and just creating big puddles and mud and everything. You do look over and you do find some latrines that, again, anywhere else in the world, these would be pristine. These would be, the most excellent latrines. But here, with the daily rain, it's constantly just flooding and just kind of flushes the contents out through the camp, which is contributing to all of this.
Okay, I'll try and dig some like little gutter systems so the puddles don't form and waste them accumulate in their camp here.
Okay, very good. As you're kind of doing that, some of the off-duty soldiers see what you're doing and kind of question it a little bit, but quickly realize, oh, this is helping, and they kind of grab a couple of shovels themselves and kind of take your lead, and rather follow your lead, and yeah, help you a bit. Yeah, that'll probably be a good chunk of the morning into the afternoon. Um, Ryuko, you're probably sleeping through the whole day. Um, but yeah, after a number of hours, probably like 6 to 8 hours, or close to, not quite 8, probably about 6 hours. You all have kind of done what you were planning on doing, got the healing done, and some extra drainage ditches started, things like that, and yeah, managed to kind of bump into each other. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say or do to each other, with each other, or whatever?
So our whole group finds each other.
Essentially, yeah. We'll say Ryuko's probably still resting for another, like, hour or two. Or we can just skip it and end up more or less in the evening when Ryuko comes to.
At some point, Zarek would like to talk to Iku.
Okay, that's easy enough. She's kind of just following everybody's lead and helping out where she can. She probably stuck with you guys and did a bit of, medicine checks and healing and such as well. Meanwhile, Hugh probably followed Davin around and was helping with the digging of the ditches and such.
Okay. I guess once they kind of make it back to where, they're gonna camp for the evening, Zarek would approach Iku and, excuse me, Iku. Um, I have some questions about the people of this jungle, if you would have a moment to spare.
I will answer what I can. What sort of questions do you have for me?
In my conversation with the commander, Breakbones, I contested his claim that the Order held control of this region of the jungle, and I said that the natives would contest such a thing. He said that there were no natives of the jungle and that they all would have resided in Port Nyanzaru. Now, I find that difficult to believe that there would be nobody left living in this region or in Cholt's jungles. This land is dotted with ruins that indicate an old, sophisticated civilization.
That may have been the case at one point, but that was a long time ago. There is nothing but ruins left of the Sultan, or kind of like hesitates. Omuan people. They do not exist anymore.
People, cultures, they simply just do not disappear.
When the undead came, there was not enough left to fight them. when the great city fell. And you can tell she's kind of like struggling with this a little bit. What remained of the Chotan people fled north to Port Nyanzaru and created that city. It is the only bastion of civilization that is truly left out here.
This undead curse really forced an entire civilization to the point of extinction.
Well, the undead was just the final straw. The straw that broke the camel's back, as they say. She kind of like sadly smiles at that phrase or cliche.
And the people of Cholt who fled to Port Nyanzaru, they have since relinquished sovereignty over the jungle then.
It is hard to hold on to something that they do not have the power, capability, or numbers to maintain the jungle and keep it at bay. There are no more true Omuans left. The Choltan people have embraced Port Nyanzaru's culture. We are merchants now.
That is very sad.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And yet I see here a foreign force attempting to fight the very scourge that nearly brought the people of Port Nyanzaru to extinction. And yet the people of Port Nyanzaru do not seem to be offering any aid to these wayward soldiers.
There are a few warriors that chose to come and assist. And you kind of look around. You do see there are a few, like, looks like Cholton tribal warriors and such dotted among the gauntlet soldiers and guards and veterans and such.
Okay.
Um, but they cannot. Well, Jolt does not have a standing army or anything to fight back the jungle, and they welcome the Gauntlet's efforts, anything to fight the undead. But they are not prepared to put forth their own resources, do not have the resources capable of pushing it back. This place is now wild. The jungle, the beasts, the undead, it belongs to them.
And how long ago did this problem begin?
It has been more than 100 years since the last bastions of the Omuan people been around.
In just a century. So much lost and given up. I can see how this pains you. So I will cease my questions for now.
I hope what little information I gave you helped you understand the circumstance of the jungle.
It has. It has helped, yes. Even if I, at this moment, do not fully understand the gravity of loss.
She kind of just respectfully nods her head.
And Zarek will kind of try to find a dry place to record everything he's observed and heard since entering Camp Vengeance.
Okay, yeah, it's, as I said, there's a couple of like open air shelters beneath the watchtowers and such. You can probably kind of sit and collect your thoughts. Nobody seems to really mind too much. All right, needed a sip of my drink. um, all right. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do with the day?
I'm good.
Alrighty. Yeah, you guys can all more or less reconvene. Ryuko, you end up coming to after a nice long rest. You can knock out one of your points of exhaustion. Yeah, Davin, you kind of take a break from digging ditches and such. You see like another shift of guards that are off duty or clearly, like about jumping in and taking their turn at continuing the work that you started. Yeah, you all are regrouped again.
Well, that was a good nap. Still a bit sluggish, but good to go. Well, better than I was, at least. How's everything going?
We did a bit of work since you've been sleeping the past 18 hours. You must have needed it.
Yes, the long journey, the pushing through multiple nights. I just, yes, definitely needed it.
Well, with a bit of extra work here, Imlek here will cure the men that the commander were wanting us to take back to Jolt, so I think that might go a long way in putting us in good graces and not conscripted to do anything too terribly bad. But hopefully the commander will see our work here and allow us to move on. Maybe even tomorrow.
Well, excellent, wonderful. Um, well, I guess I shall. Well, uh, not 100%, but I suppose I can go and try to find some way to be useful. Yes, I'm sure they have a hunting party, tracking something. Maybe I'll talk to someone, or maybe I won't. Talking to people. Mm. Um, I'll figure it
No,
out. Yes.
you won't be good at talking to people till you try it.
Uh, I don't really know if I want to. Uh, but I'm sure I'll figure out a way. Or we'll figure out a way. And she'll, turn and scratch the air on her shoulder. Yes, we'll figure out a way.
Okie doke.
Yeah,
So
Flint will go with Imlek too. I'm assuming would you want to go heal the wounded now? Jeff?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, Flint would probably go with him, and then I guess I would hope the group would all talk to Commander Breakbone together, or else I might track him down myself, whichever's better for storytelling.
Yeah, we can say it's like you guys kind of rested up through the night and woke up in the morning of the next day, being, mostly refreshed. You can probably do some of the healing before the commander summons you.
And that only cured 1 point of exhaustion, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So while they go off, Ryuko will attempt to go and find someone and talk to them. Just seeing if they have like a tracking team that might go out and forage for like food or anything. If they don't have anything like that, maybe talk to their I guess if they have like a surveyor or a navigator type of person, go talk to them and kind of just give them more details about, the jungle, the different things that they should look for, you know, salves and all of that extra stuff to talk about. But first, she'll go and attempt to find somebody to see about all this.
Okay, yeah, as you're kind of looking around, you do see among a lot of the Cholton hunters and scouts and such, there does seem to be one that's a little more, I guess, prominent, one that's clearly a little more in charge. Um, giving out some very basic orders and such, but they seem much more loose and unofficial, not quite as rigid as the Gauntlet, the Order of the Gauntlet forces.
Yeah, if she'll walk up if she sees him finishing conversation, she'll kind of wait there patiently and then kind of shyly hold her hand up. Uh, um, when hi, a moment if you have, or when you have a moment, I can um uh you can help me. No, I can help you with food uh from the forest. Yes. No. Yes.
The Cholton female kind of looks at you and smiles a bit and says, "There's no need to be so nervous, little one. I am Lorsa Bilwithal. It's a pleasure to meet you."
Oh, yes. Pleasure to meet you as well. And she'll do like a awkward half bow, half nod. And sorry, talking to people is I don't do it much. So nerves are me. I am nerves, but we are trying. Yes.
Again, just with that smile on her face, I understand. I spend much time in the jungle by myself, and coming back to people can be a bit jarring sometimes.
Oh, yes, exactly, exactly. When you're surrounded by ruins and architecture and the different things. I mean, it's just you and the notes and well, my friends, but you can't see my friends, but they are there. That kind of makes me sound crazy, doesn't it? But yes, I know what you mean.
Only as crazy as the rest of us. There are crazy things out in the jungle. But what is it you wish to ask me, little one?
Well, I suppose to get right to the point, I have some skills in going out and foraging and the like. I noticed well, uh, the commander doesn't really seem to know much. So, I didn't know if maybe somebody needed, a refresher on the jungle, but clearly you don't need that. But any other assistance? I am helpful. I can be helpful.
We have a hunting party out in the jungle currently. They should be arriving back any moment now. But if you wish to take up a watch upon the watchtower, I'm sure that will be appreciated.
Oh, yes, yes, of course. We are excellent watchers. Yes.
Marvelous. She kind of just steers you toward the nearest watchtower, which is kind of, I guess, the southern one. And, yeah, just kind of has you climb up to the top with her and, just kind of surveys the jungle with you, so, points out, this is the southern area, that's the northern area. Most of the undead seem to come from the east.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, she'll take everything in. And then, I don't know if she's gonna stay, but if she goes, she'll just keep on surveying the land, see if she can spot anything out of the ordinary.
Sure, give me a perception check.
14.
Okay. No immediate threats seem to catch your eye. You do see, the occasional jungle beast, a small, monkey swings from one tree to another. You see, maybe a little tiny, rodent kind of peek its head out from the brush and then disappear back into it. But, yeah, nature does not seem to be really afraid of this place, but they kind of give it a bit of a little wide berth.
Okay. Okay. I guess when the hunting party returns, I guess she'll look to see, what particular type of animals, they're bringing back, whether it's like deer, rabbit, if it's just a bunch of berries, or just to get like a inclination of, I guess what their main source is.
Yeah, we'll say after like an hour or two, you do hear them call to open the gates, and you see a hunting party kind of come and make their way around the ditch and come through the gates, and they have they actually seem to be in pretty good spirits. They seem to be kind of a little pep in their step. They got a big boar kind of hanging from a branch between a couple of them. A few others have like a couple of baskets full of just fruits and berries and other things like that that they kind of found out throughout the jungle.
Okay.
But yeah, as about the same time that they're arriving, say Captain Salhana comes and tries to gather you and your party, get your attention, and say that the commander is prepared for you all, and if you would come with her, please. Yeah, assuming there's no objections or anything. Kind of leads you into the command tent, and you look over, and he's got a makeshift table, kind of flimsy looking, with all kinds of maps and documents and things. Give me a. I'll just say. Fuck it. Everybody, go ahead and just give me a history check.
What kind of checks are?
History, please. Okay. Davin and Flint. The two of you especially kind of looking at the maps. Like, they are maps of the region, easy enough to make that out. But just from your journey here and the brief maps you saw, before you left from the, I believe it was the Lord's Alliance guy that you met with. They don't seem to be fully updated or entirely accurate. But yeah, he's kind of sitting there like poring over those maps and everything, just rubbing his head and trying to clearly, put together some kind of plans and stuff. And you all kind of make your way in. He's like, "Ah, excellent, excellent. I hear you all did a number of things to assist us around here. Thank you, you three especially, for assisting in the medical aid of our troops. That has gone quite a long way in replenishing our strengths. And you, in particular," he kind of points to, or nods to you, Devin. I understand you are helping the drainage issue that we have been having. Kind of like shrugs and grunts, but thank you as well. I believe I have a more suitable quest for you all. Instead of sending you all the way back to port. Kind of like looks at the captains on either side, and they kind of both just nod. He's like, one of our patrols was sent out about a week ago, and have not returned. We expected them to be gone for at least a number of days, but they should have reported back by now. I would ask that you, please, as he kind of like, it almost pains him to say the word, if you would attempt to locate them, track them down, and report back with your findings. Ideally, bring back the whole patrol alive, but at this point, that seems quite unlikely. Any proof of their whereabouts and what happened to them would go a long way.
What direction were they bound for?
Well, we had some reports that there was trouble to the north.
Well, we can certainly keep eyes out for them. In fact, I think we might be headed at least northwest, potentially. And we have a couple skilled trackers here. I think we might be able to spot them for you.
That would be great if could consider your conscription, temporary conscription, as his eyes kind of lock onto you for a brief second there, Zarek. More than fulfilled if you return with my men.
Flint does stroke his chin and kind of glance at the others. That's a very gracious offer, sir. And thank you for allowing us to rest here. It's been good for us. The jungles are tough.
Tough indeed, we have come to learn. Almost too well. And kind of like gets a brief distant look in his eyes, and then kind of snaps back to, the moment. Yeah, so as soon as you are all geared and prepared, if you would head off northward, find my men, please.
Looking at the map, Davin's gonna. Well, you say this map's accurate. When was this made? Also, does it look like tattered? Yep.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little. It's got some holes in it here and there, clearly torn a bit, frayed edges, things like that. He kind of narrows his eyes a bit at you and looks down at his maps. And I received these upon leaving my mission to come here. I was given these documents and told to make suitable camp and begin our war against the undead. As far as accuracy, as they seem to be doing the job.
I respectfully shake my head. You know, understood. I just see some bits and pieces that, and then I kind of grab something to write with the quill, whatever's supposed to make a little adjustment.
He seems a little hesitant at first to, have you kind of marking up his maps, but he recognizes all you guys have done in the past day or two and allows you to kind of make a couple little corrections here and there. And after looking over it a bit, he seems a little more appreciative. And yeah, so he kind of yes, well, thank you for your insight and corrections, and I'll put that information to good use. So yes, as soon as you are all prepared, we will see you off, and I hope to see you again very soon. Good news.
Yes, we hope to be able to deliver good news. And men if all goes well.
Very good, very good. You're all dismissed. And they kind of, usher you guys back out of the command tent and into the main quote unquote thoroughfare of the camp. Yeah, you guys can make any last minute preparations before you head out, or if you want to, rest another day. You could do that. It's up to you guys. What do you want to do? How do you want to go about accomplishing this?
Yeah, did we want to go with 2 people with exhaustion and count on a long rest this evening, or do we want to take it another day?
Unfortunately, waiting probably increases the chance that more of them die, so that's probably not smart.
I think it's also an open question too. Do we head straight north, or do we go find the Oracle, I think was the other plan we had? Or we go back up to the temple to the northeast.
I'll move you guys back to the map.
We also still got Emelek's dragon that the dwarf was supposed to be taking him to.
I think we, correct me if I'm wrong, but did we kind of kick that one to the back burner for now?
Oh, we did? Oh my god.
Well, I'm asking for confirmation.
I don't think we did.
That was, as I understand it, part of the agreement for Hugh to come with you guys. Like, not really, like, he was going to come with you because you paid him and everything, but he definitely was like, yeah, help me go deal with this as, we travel through this place.
So I guess no real timeline, but I also didn't get the feeling we were beelining there either.
No, definitely not a Beal, but should be on the list. We're picking up. I mean, these people have their lives in danger, man. We gotta go rescue them.
Yeah, I was leaning. That sounds more pressing.
It's also more glorious.
Well, glory isn't really. I'm not chasing glory.
Man.
It's not about you.
For Ryoku's sake, she wants to get back into the ruin dive and the exploration. If we're going in the same direction as where they were, she definitely doesn't mind, taking a look around and seeing if they can find anything. Um, as for going back to the ruins, I'm also open to that suggestion, but it seems that it might be a compromise where it's like, okay, some folks want to go and see that versus backtracking. So those are the two things for me. But yes, we do also have the Oracle, which is another major thing.
I think Flint would full commit to this rescue operation, and from there we either rescue them and go straight back to camp, or if we don't rescue them, maybe swing back to the temple and then go back to camp, and then from there see the Oracle.
I can get behind that plan.
But it seems like priority rescue operation, see where we're at after that.
Seems to be the majority.
I think that's the consensus. And then are we leaving today or tomorrow?
Uh, I mean, so I still have one level of exhaustion. How's
Mhm.
everybody else?
I'm at 1.
Yeah, it's just you two, and we're out of lay on hands charges. But I think that's the extent of the downside for leaving now.
Oh, this is the same day.
No, it's not. It's the next day.
The same day that you that you used it on the rest of the wounded, because the first day you could only do
Right.
one guy. The second day you needed to kind of use the rest on like 3 or 4 more guys.
Right. Almost forgot. Thank you.
So with that, I mean, I don't think I'm fine with heading on out. I mean, only two of us are really down. Like I said, no diseases, but you can probably get that tomorrow if anything really pops up.
Hey,
So I'm
man, I can
definitely,
still smite, so that's all that really matters, you know?
there you go. I'm down with leaving right now.
Cool. Yeah, let's go. I was leaving it to the people with exhaustion to make that decision, but yeah, if you guys are cool, let's go. And as stated, it'll increase our odds of success.
Okie dokie. So we'll say you all make your way out of the gates. It's still, fairly early in the morning. Or I guess we'll say like mid-morning. But you can probably get, roughly a full day's travel in. Or, hitting nightfall. So you guys are heading northward. Go ahead and roll me, let's say... Scott, give me a D100.
D100 coming up.
Please and thank you. Okay. The rain does not seem to be too terrible today. It's definitely got, the standard showers and such, but it seems to have breaks in it, and the sun kind of breaks through the clouds, and then the clouds kind of overcast reappears, but definitely navigable. Doesn't seem to slow you guys down really too much. Yeah, you all head off northward. Who would like to roll survival check as the party's navigator today?
Hey, I'll ball, man. Well, I only have a 3. So.
Same.
Yeah, I got a 6, but disadvantage. So
I'm a
seems like
0.
You do have
We're chasing glory today, fellas. I'll roll.
okay,
There
you
you
do
go.
have guides as well that you can, potentially use in such a way.
Oh hell yeah! Send them to the front.
Touche.
Okay.
You maybe.
Definitely, you could.
Yeah, the dwarf's probably too drunk to be any use.
All right, Iku. Oh, Iku may not have been the best idea that time. All right, you all head off, and you're pretty sure you're heading northward, but you're actually not entirely sure. Turns out, after about the good chunk of the day's travel, you realize that you are, in fact, lost. You roll d6 to figure out which direction you guys go. All right. So after about the day's travel, you all, nightfall comes. Does not appear to, uh, the jungle seems to be fairly uh, uneventful this evening. Um, yeah, nothing seems to have jumped out or ambushed you guys, but you do find a decent enough place to make camp for the night. But you are not entirely sure where you are at the moment. You recognize that you are indeed lost. Yeah, so I guess you guys pretty much go through the traveling through the whole day and now have a long rest to deal with if you want to take watches or if there's anything you guys want to do in camp or anything of that sort. Or again, if there's anything you guys want to do while you were traveling, I guess, we could have done that as well.
I would have bug sprayed for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, bug spray, a little bit of Keeladon training. That's about it.
Okay. Mark off use of your bug repellent. And yeah, anything you guys want to do in camp this evening? Discussions to be had or actions to carry out?
Just some training with Keeladon.
Okay. Anything
What
in
could we do to maybe get back on track? As far as like trying to find our bearings again.
not much tonight specifically, but in the morning there would probably be ways to go about it.
Okay.
As far as Keeladon's training, is there anything in particular you're trying to do with him, or just kind of it's just how you spend a lot of your time is just working with him and familiarizing with specific commands or whatever?
Yeah, the latter. Just mostly us getting used to each other.
Okay, general training, nothing you really want to do any major roles for or anything. Gotcha. Anybody else?
Zark's just gonna try to get a full rest because he needs to fix this exhaustion.
Yeah, pretty much the same. If a watch needs to be, well, can you take a watch with exhaustion? You can't, right?
No, I think you
I'll
need the
take
full
watch.
8 hours.
Okay.
I mean, generally
Um,
the way the watches work is like each of you, like you get your full long rest even if you take a watch.
Oh,
okay. Well, then, yeah. I mean, if we're doing a watch, Ryoku will volunteer to do one of the watches, um, with someone. But other than that, yeah, she is passing out.
Okay. Who's on first? Who's on second?
I'll take second.
I'll do
First.
first. What are you saying?
First, also, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Zarek will skip watch if Emelec decides to take second with Davin.
I'll do second.
Okie dokie. So first watch, we have Ryuko and Flint. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to do or talk about. You're free to. Otherwise, give me some perception checks. Okay.
I guess sometime within the watch. So, Flint, hmm, well, what do you plan on doing, out here? I mean, not in general, of what you will do with your life, but just, within the forest. I know we have our agreement to do the ruins, and you came to help with Emelec and the escort. And well, your god, deity, entity, is against these undead. Do you plan on staying, or I believe you said you were looking for somebody. No, no, I could be wrong, but I think you said you were looking for someone.
You do say a lot of words overall.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that. Talking, but not talking, but just talking a lot, but not really saying much of. I'm talking too much. Sorry.
It's something to work on. Someone who went through many investigations, I'm used to getting things concise. It's a skill set to be sure. But I have faith that you might get there someday. But as to the essence of your question, I am looking for someone. Elna, man of the cloth like me, powerfully connected to Lathander, and he's out here, and he needs my help.
Yes. A friend of yours. Yes, you're hoping to find him, or perhaps save him if he's in trouble.
Yeah, a friend. You see him spin the top of his runic smoking pipe, and you see a little bit of smoke come out as he takes a long draft. Friend, mentor, spiritual leader. He's a few different things to me, I guess. And yeah, save him. Good a definition as anything, I'd say. He needs help. And I have a mind to go track him down. Somewhere out here. He waves vaguely out into the jungle. Somewhere south, I think.
Oh, well, we're kind of going in the opposite direction to that. No?
Yes, we are, but, Lathander wills it and all that.
Well, I mean, I suppose such an interesting thing, faith. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we have a goddess where I come from, and while no, I respect her, of course. I don't know about the whole planning my life around what she could want, or believing that everything is within the plan. I guess sounds so weird to say. But I mean, for someone to actually believe that and yes, well, good for you.
Well, plan, no plan. Guess it might not matter either way. You might drive yourself crazy thinking about it, but as for my viewpoint is, I know Lathander's teachings and I'll follow them to the best of my ability, though I am quite inadequate to the task for the most part. But, you know, follow the teachings of your god and things usually go pretty good. Or if anything, you clinch a spot in the afterlife at the very least.
Well, I mean, I would say you've done pretty well from what I've seen so far. You attempted to help a man that just talked to you on the street. You would have entered a potential dangerous game for him, which I really didn't understand. But you were willing to do it to save him, and you were pretty quick to offer help to the people here. Sounds like an upstanding person, if I've ever seen one.
Don't get me wrong, I do these things, but do I understand them? No. No, it's confusing why he found me in the first place, but he waves to the canopy above him. Here I am nonetheless. Life is whimsical.
Well, yes, it is. I find the confusing things to be, well, the most enjoyable. I mean, just think of ruins. You know, the different languages, whether they're known or unknown, the meanings behind how certain things were done that can't be redone. It's all rather confusing until one day you come to understand it a bit more. You can never fully grasp what is, um, well, I mean, I suppose in some situations you can grasp what they mean, but I mean, in general, you can't. But, uh, well, hmm, never mind. You know what I'm saying, hopefully.
Yes, I think so. Solving the mysteries of the universe and all that. You know, you'd make a pretty good investigator back in Waterdeep.
Oh, oh no. There's far too many people and Oh, no. Ruins are far more my speed. But thank you for, well, the compliment. Yes, thank you.
An offer, I can always introduce you to a few people, but I understand.
Yes, it has been. Well, I don't think I've ever traveled with a group this large before, but so this is new, but you all are enjoyable. Yes.
It's a big step for someone who doesn't like people. Here's to that.
I suppose so, yes. But I like to think my friends, and well, sometimes me, but mostly my friends, are a good judge of characters. And well, they don't have any bad things to say about you. Unless I'm wrong, do you have any bad things to say about them? No? Okay, yes, no. No bad things.
Well, good. I've impressed the spirits. My mother would be proud.
Yes, it's somewhat difficult to do. Yes. Oh, you were telling a joke, weren't you?
Call that a half joke.
Ah, yes, of course. Uh,
Yeah, role play over, I'd say.
mhm.
Alrighty. So, your watch seems to go off fairly uneventfully. Constant rain seems to just kind of trickle on. But eventually your watch comes to an end. Second watch awakens for their turn. Yeah. Davin and Imalek, please throw me some perception rolls.
Can't see shit.
You sure that rain didn't pick up? Matter of fact, we should roll for rain.
You want to roll for rain again? Sure. Throw me a D100 and see what the rain does.
All right, Jeff, this one's on you.
Need me to roll what?
D100, please.
All right. Red dragon, red dragon.
The rain definitely picks up a little bit. It's still not, torrential downpours or anything. But you do find yourselves a little more soaked throughout the evening and throughout the night of your watch. Yeah, anything the two of you would like to discuss or work on, do, whatever?
Not in particular.
Yeah, nothing that comes to mind.
Okie doke. No pressure. Yeah, aside from the rain picking up a bit, the rest of your watch kind of goes off also uneventfully, though if something had occurred, you both are fairly confident that you probably wouldn't have caught it anyway. But eventually the next day's journey, or sun rises, the light kind of breaks through the clouds a little bit. I also just realized I never changed the audio here, which I apologize. Do those better. And yeah, so you all wake up in the morning. The sun is rising. You have the full day ahead of you, but you realize that you are still kind of lost. One of you could roll a survival check to attempt to become unlost, or you can leave it up to your guides again.
I think Ryoku, feeling refreshed for the first time in a few days, will probably take over for the survival. I also do have the natural explorer, which I don't know how you want to do this. I can't be lost except for magical means, so don't know how that works into the actual.
Okay. We'll say pretty much your exhaustion kind of negated that this last day, but generally, if you as long as you're the one leading the group and navigating, then you can generally use that and ideally not get lost. Unless again there's like a torrential downpour, some other means like the weather's super terrible or something like that.
Yeah, completely understandable. So yeah, Ryoku, like, oh, well, I finally feel back to normal. Oh man, that's it's been so long. Well, it seems we've gotten just a tad bit turned around. I did send some of my friends out just to survey the path, and I think I can, well, get us back on track. So whenever you're all ready.
Let's say,
Yeah, take it away, Ryoko. I'll leave it to you.
all right,
Oh, excellent.
throw me a survival check, please. Oh yeah,
Cool.
nice. You realize. It's just the map layer. Yes. You realize that you and your party traveled in the complete opposite direction and found yourselves about a day's travel to the south. But with that awesome survival, they kind of clear out that little path there. Um, you do find yourselves in kind of a marshy, swampy type area, but you know that your goal, your mission is to the north. So with a 26 is more than enough to get you back on track and headed in the right direction. Um, so yeah, you all head back northward, I assume. and make your way past. Again, these hexes are like 10 miles across, so just because you're going past Camp Vengeance doesn't mean like you're gonna, see them or anything. Unless you
Yeah, we
wanted
will
to.
shamefully stay out of line of sight.
I figured. um, but yeah, you spend a day traveling north. If somebody would also like to roll for the weather today, or, if you guys don't want to roll for it, I will.
Scott's the weatherman.
Alrighty, weatherman.
He-
Ooh, okay. You get through most of the day's travel, but boy, does that rain pick up and the winds start to carry, and you hear big thunderous lightning strikes above, and it becomes very difficult to traverse much further in this day. Um, also, okay. So yeah, as you kind of reach the end of the day, I'll say the weather didn't really quite pick up until pretty much the evening, and you had traveled your full day's journey. Um, but the guides, whenever weather like this kind of hits, they really suggest finding somewhere, hunker down, and wait it out. Hopefully, it will only last the night, and not through the following day. Um, Iku will also kind of sheepishly look at you, Ryuko, and say, I do apologize for getting us lost there. I just got a bit turned around. I promise it will not happen again.
Oh, no, it's perfectly fine. I wasn't in my, well, right mind. Yes, I was in my right mind. I was just a bit exhausted myself. It's been a long travel. Could have happened to any of us. It's perfectly fine.
He kind of like sheepishly smiles a little bit. And, I appreciate your understanding. And again, it will not second time.
Yes, of course. We have the utmost trust in your abilities. Yes. So a turnaround here or there. As Flint would say, it's in the plan, or it's a part of the plan. Well, one or the other.
She just kind of nods and smiles at that. And to be fully transparent, she rolled a natural one the day before. It was just yeah. Um, but yeah, we'll say you guys just for brevity's sake managed to find a decent enough place to find some cover for the evening and hopefully wait out the storm until the next day. I also just realized we did not take a break yet, so if you guys want to take a quick 5-ish, maybe 10 minutes at most, and we can come back for the last hour.
Works for me.
And maybe a fiver.
Okay. Cool. Did not mean to
Good.
skip the break there for you guys. I apologize.
It's all good. Just into the story.
No worries, man. Yeah.
Alrighty, so yeah, come back about 25, and we'll continue this. Okie doke. So yes, you are all resting up for the evening in a rather torrential downpour, loud thunder and bright lightning cracking over. And yeah, first watch, second watch, any watches, no watches.
Yeah, Ryoku will do first watch again.
You might
Zark
do
will.
first watch.
Oh. Zark will also take first watch, simply because, well, when Imalek and Ryoku are actually doing watch, he's gonna be foraging for plants to try to make another healing potion.
Okay. I will say it's going to be very difficult for that to happen because of the weather and everything.
Uh,
But not impossible.
Understandable. What do you want me to roll? Survival?
Yeah, survival works.
Okay.
I'll take second watch just to split up
Oh,
the perception
wow.
skills.
I'll take
Cutting out again there, Scott. I assume you're saying you'll take second.
yes, sir.
Cool.
Either my mouse or my mic.
I'm not sure what it is. We get like the first couple words and then it's like you move away from your microphone or something. Very strange. But all right, first watch. Zarak, you're kind of spending time doing survival checks and trying to gather some herbs and such. With that, you could definitely find some. Roll me a d6.
Okay.
Okay. You find enough to potentially make up to about 3 more potions.
Oh, okay. Will I be able to make those 3 tonight? Or
No, we'll say it took pretty much your whole watch, considering the storm and everything, to even find what you did.
okay.
Yeah, the other 2, you guys will throw me a perception check each. Sorry, I meant
Uh,
Imalek and Ryuko. Sorry,
Sorry.
Ian. We'll hold on to
I'll
your
save my.
we'll hold on to your 25 there. That's fine.
Please, sir. Please let me keep it.
Of course. Okay. 13 and 15. Alrighty. Location. What I just rolled.
T-Rex.
Let's. Oh, can I just click that? That makes it so easy.
New tech.
I don't know about new, but I definitely hadn't seen it before, or hadn't realized it. Okay. As we'll say, what that. You guys managed to, when you were searching for shelter and such, it was not a big cave by any means, but sizable enough to, fit the whole party and have a nice little fire and everything. Um, as you guys are sitting during your first watch, you do hear some pretty heavy footfalls crunching through the jungle, and clearly getting closer. And after, a couple of moments of this, you see a image here. You see kind of like a longer snout kind of push through the brush and such, with rather large kind of spines across its back, or not really spines, I guess fins is a good way to put it. Kind of notices you all and slowly on all 4 legs kind of starts making its way towards you. You see large spikes coming, it's kind of sprouting up from its tail. And what you in fact see is a stegosaurus making its way out of the brush. It doesn't seem immediately hostile, more maybe a little curious. But it does seem to be approaching you all.
Imulek, you're a dinosaur or person, dragon. Uh, d- what should we do? Danger? Not danger? Friendly?
Besides that being a very gross mischaracterization of myself. Ah, not really sure. It seems just curious. Can I do like a history check to remember if Stegosaurus eat meat or not?
Sure, we'll say history or. Yeah, history is fine. Okay. Looking it over and stuff, you do recall that, you look at the features of it. It doesn't have, sharp fangs or teeth or anything like that. It's most of its, uh, weaponized body parts like the tail it all seems a little more defensive. So it's a pretty safe bet that this thing is not a carnivore.
I don't think we have to worry about it being a predator.
Oh, well, that's good at the very least. Uh, and I don't think that was a gross characterization. I mean, you do have a pet dragon, which makes you in turn a a dragon with a dinosaur. A, who knows about dinosaurs because you have one? No, that's not how that works.
Ryoko, you know what? Never mind. Happy to hear you speaking.
Ah, yes. Anyways, I think maybe I can talk to this uh, dinosaur and see if he's looking for something, I guess. uh,
Approach carefully, please. It may not be a predator, but that doesn't mean it won't maim me if it's scared.
At
ah,
this point, Zarek does come back to camp from foraging, and he sees the Stegosaurus and just lights up.
oh, Zarek, you might not want to just, run at it. Uh,
I approach the Stegosaurus and I cast ritual cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Ritual cast?
takes
Yeah,
10 minutes.
yeah,
It
ritual.
takes 10 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, then I'm just gonna cast Speak with Animals on myself then.
Okay.
Well, hello there, friend. Why did you wander here so late at night?
You understand.
Yes, I am a druid, and I have the ability to commune with animals such as yourself.
And okay. What
My name,
you
I am a dwarf, and my name is Zarak Leafbeard. This is my friend Ryuku, and then this is my friend Imalek. My other friends are sleeping right now. You have come upon our campsite.
see its rather large tongue kind of lick its lips. Beef. Food.
Oh, it's there's not actually leaves in my beard. It's more of a nickname, a surname. You see, I am a druid and a dwarf. Dwarves are famous for their beards. Druids are famous for their love of nature. So, Leaf Beard. Quite clever, is it not?
The eyes kind of just blink out of sync. It's not quite understanding what you're saying. Like it knows the words, but it doesn't put them together in any comprehensive way.
Well, what is your name?
Nay.
Yes.
Oh.
What do you?
Oh nay.
You have no name.
Lost. Er.
Oh, my friend. Where did you lose your herd?
Long time below.
Oh, well, I am truly sorry to hear that.
I
Ooh.
kind of speak up from behind. It's like, oh, I don't know what you're saying, but ask it if it's seen those missing gods.
We are also looking for members of our herd that are lost as well. They are like us, walk on 2 feet and would have been in this jungle.
Like you.
Yes, probably a little taller, size of my friend Emelec back here. Um, Human, if you know what a human is.
Again, the eyes are just blinking out of sync. Like no idea what a human is. Uh. No. You give food.
Food. Um, yes, I could. I'm gonna then expend another spell slot, because why not? And summon 10 good berries and hold my hand out to it with the good berries in my palm.
Kind of like hesitantly sniffs your hand and then just kind of opens its mouth and your whole hand just kind of disappears in its mouth for a second and you just feel it just get all slimy and slobbery as it kind of just takes all of the good berries in one big bite. Kind of.
Did you enjoy that? As I say while wiping my hand on my leather coat.
You see it in a very, bestial kind of way, just kind of nod its head up and down. Yes, more food. No.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's all I have to offer right now, friend.
Okay. And it just kind of stands there and just kind of stares at you all for a while.
Well, I'll look back at Ryuko and Emelec and say, he has not seen the guards, and he has lost his herd. He says a long time ago. It's quite sad, actually.
Yeah, yes, it is, unfortunately. Uh, are you going to be. Well, no, Emelec says that is not how it goes. Are you going to befriend this dinosaur? And then will you want to then be known as a dinosaur person or a person who has knowledge of dinosaurs?
I would very much like to befriend a dinosaur and become knowledgeable of I wouldn't become a dinosaur person. I don't think that is possible. I don't think there are dinosaur people. Emelec is a dragonborn, and dinosaurs aren't dragons. They're certainly, can look dragon-like, but I wouldn't call them dragons. No, it's more leather rather than scales. No, so dragon, dinosaur people. No. Uh, anyhow, um, sir,
Emelec,
I will then.
real quick. Apologies to interrupt. Roll me an animal handling check, real quick.
Oh shit.
I was wondering.
Okay, I'd say that's just enough. You notice Keeladon is very interested in this thing and starts kind of burying and gnashing his teeth at it, and looks up at you and looks back at the Stegosaurus and looks up at you, and it's waiting for the command. It wants to pounce.
Somebody's hungry. Heal, boy, heal. And I just grab like a fat slab of meat, just feed it to him to like get his attention instead.
Okay. And I'd say with that roll, I mean, that's just enough. I'd even say, Zarak, you do hear Keeladon, since you got your Speak with Animals running, just kind of over there behind Emelec going, hunt, hunt, please, master, hunt, kill, rip, claw, hunt. And then he kind of tosses the meat to Keeladon, and he just immediately snatches it out of the air and just tears it to shreds like, he does.
I'll look over at the size of Keeladon because he's like the size of a large dog, correct?
He's a medium beast. He's a little bit smaller than you guys, but
Okay.
about your size.
Okay, but a Stegosaurus is quite a large animal.
Yes, he's considered a huge beast, so he's about two
Yeah.
sizes larger than all of you.
Yeah, so I'll look over at Keeladon, look at the Stegosaurus, and just shake my head and think to myself, you'll need a lot of Keeladons to take this guy down. But anyhow, I will turn back to the Stegosaurus and go, would you want to accompany us? Perhaps we could help you find your herd.
Oh. You?
Yes.
Ooh. No, eat me.
We would not eat you, sir. No, we have our own food.
Give me an animal handling check. Or persuasion, I suppose, since you are indeed speaking its language. Whichever you would prefer.
Could I get it at advantage? Because I have been quite kind, and I gave him the good berries.
I'd say
If I do
sure.
animal.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
cool.
Advantage would be reasonable.
All right, let's see. Animal handling. Oh, wow.
All right. A little hesitant at first, but then kind of goes, or food with you.
Yes, I would certainly be able to give you more of those berries.
And again, the head kind of, in a rather bestial way, just kind of goes up and down in a little excitement. And yes, with you, yes.
Well, come along then. We'll go talk some more, and you can tell me about the jungle and your herd, and perhaps somewhere in there, I could be able to find you a name. How does that sound, friend?
Food, good.
And then I'll walk up and I'll like pat his neck and kind of lead him to the other side of the camp away from that little terror of Keeladon.
Okay. And he follows you quite readily. And yeah, he seems to be quite content with you specifically, Zarek.
Fuck yeah.
So you now have a Stegosaurus following you as well. God, this is gonna be a mistake, I'm sure.
How tall is this creature for reference?
It is a huge beast, so like roughly 15 feet in size, I'd say. They're in dimensions.
So Flint and Davin are gonna wake up to a surprise.
Think could literally wipe us.
As he's walking off, you'll see Ryoku just have place an ear to her shoulder. It's like, no, 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 no. I have no interest in any of these creatures. You guys are more than enough. No, no, I would never. Um, be careful.
And Zarek has completely tuned everybody else as he talks to his new friend.
Uh, Emilek, do you think this is a good idea?
Imalek?
Sorry, I missed that part. What did you say to me?
Just asking if you thought this was a good idea.
Oh, having the Stegosaurus around.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, Kilodon might try to take a bite out of it.
Oh, I don't think this is going to be good at all. I suppose nothing to be done yet. Uh, maybe Flint will be able to set it right in the morning.
I suppose I could keep Kilodon occupied by hunting other things.
Yes, yes, that would be great. Uh, maybe make sure that it's none of his kind while he's around. Yes, just, you know.
Perhaps easier prey.
Yes, easier prey, yes. Yeah, I think that concludes our watch.
Indeed, indeed. That's quite an interesting first watch. Um, as you guys kind of finish your turn and nudge the others awake, um, Zarak will say your new companion finds a spot kind of outside of the cave and just curls its legs up underneath it and curls up into a not quite a ball but a little into itself a little bit. And
I'll stick close to it and quite consent.
very good. Flint and Davin, the two of you awake to well, apparently Zarak's sleeping next to a dinosaur, but very, very large dinosaur. Other than that, unless you're gonna have, discussions or reactions or anything, go ahead and throw out your perceptions, and you can have your discussions during, after, whatever.
Imlek? Ryoko? The hell is that?
Oh, well, see, the dinosaur came out of the woods when we were on watch, and at first we were worried that it might do something, but then it didn't do anything. But then Zarak came out, and then he got all excited, and then he just ran up to it, and the next thing you know, he was walking it around. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I guess he's made a friend? Maybe?
Yes, Druid makes friend with unbelievable beast. Yeah, I've heard this one before. He's just pinching the bridge of his nose with his fingers. Of
That's
course, it
gonna
had
be
to be a
pretty
dinosaur. Of
expensive.
course, couldn't just be a bird.
Yeah, well, I guess we thought you might be able to, talk some sense into him. It doesn't seem like a good idea, but who knows? I don't know. I don't want a dinosaur, but apparently everyone else does. Do you want a dinosaur?
No.
Ah, he doesn't want a dinosaur either.
How do you expect us to sneak around this forest?
What'd you say, Scott?
How do you expect us to sneak around this forest all quiet like?
Yes, there are many reasons why this is a bad idea, but that, foremost in my mind, is it. We'll wake the whole damn forest, and guess what haunts beast? Bigger beast! I will not defend one of these monsters when we have other things to be doing.
Yes, yeah, yes. What you said. Well, perhaps you can talk some sense into him. I'm gonna go sleep. Good night.
Yes, yes, get some sleep. Oh, Lathander, grant me patience.
Alrighty. Unless anything else wants to be said or done, Ian, go ahead and throw me your perception roll, please.
You want me to reroll my 20?
Oh no, I forgot you did that already. No, you can keep your 25.
Yay.
Uh, yeah, we'll say that was definitely the major event for the evening. Your watch, aside from the storm raging on, goes off with no more encounters. Thank you, Scott. And yeah, I'd say with that, pretty much nearing the end of your watch, just as the sun's kind of peeking out, the rain finally breaks and it kind of opens up into a nice clear sky. The storm seems to stop, and the jungle seems to kind of come alive again. Um, but you were all, waking up in the next morning to a nice sunny day. Very humid, still very, very hot. But hey, it's not raining for the first time in a number of days now. And yeah, you all are awake and doing your morning routines and such, and have a new traveling companion, apparently.
Zarek,
Um,
I, you know, why? And he just gestures to the beast.
because he lost his herd.
Great, yes, he lost his herd. What do you do when you leave Cholt? Are you gonna bring him around with you for the rest of your life? I doubt it.
No, I told him we would help him find his herd.
Yes, because we didn't have enough things to do. Pray tell,
Well,
where is his herd?
we haven't gotten that far in our conversation yet. We were talking about the variety of leaves he enjoys.
Yes, and I'm sure the peanut-sized brain of his can comprehend any of it. Beast are beast. They should not be with us.
Flint. Now that is awfully rude of you. You did not
Rude because I
protect
don't want us
much.
to die. What eats beast? Zarek, what eats a beast?
I'd look over at the absolute size of this thing. I think having a creature of his size on our side in this jungle would be beneficial also from a tactical standpoint.
You didn't answer my question. What eats a beast?
A larger beast, yes, but I do not think we are any larger a target than we already are. We're what? We number 5, 6, 7, 8 before this?
Yes, and we've been lucky.
And he
Probably
also
because
knows.
we are making very little sound. Can your friend move quietly? Can you teach him that?
Perhaps not, but he also knows this jungle. And even if he cannot properly comprehend what lays before us, he can tell us things that we can then work out ourselves.
Remind me of my mother. Druids twisting logic just because they like a new pet. I've seen
He
it
is not a
before.
pet. He is
Then what
not.
is he?
He is my friend.
Right. And your friend is going to cause us unending misery and death.
Your
I do not
friend
approve
is
of this.
your friend is a liability.
Yes, I agree.
Well, we're a package deal now.
I will not defend your friend if something bigger attacks it. And that is it.
What is with this animosity, Flint? I am surprised. I thought of those we travel with, you had one of the more level headed.
I'm level headed and I see it very clearly. It is you druids that see the world in a different light. I cannot understand it.
Well, he has lost his herd. He is a native of this jungle. We are outsiders to this place. Our guide has already gotten us lost once, meaning no offense, Iku, it's just a fact. I
It
think we
wasn't her
could
fault.
use I think we can use all the help we can get. Now I can communicate with him. We are friends. I will feed him and look out for him. And if he tells me that he senses something in the jungle, well, then right then and there, he has already proven his worth.
Uh, you'll see Ryoku hold her hand up in the background.
It's not a school, Ryuku. You can speak your mind.
Ah, well, yes, of course. One question though. Did you perhaps confirm whether he meant lost, as in, no longer around here? Or lost, as in, oh, uh, wrong waterhole?
I I don't quite understand.
Oh, well, are they dead already? Or is this a recent thing and he just recently lost them? Or there might be different versions of lost. Sometimes animals have, a different way of talking or speech patterns. I'm sure you know this.
Dark's gonna have like one of those looks on his face and just he hadn't considered that the herd may be dead. Um, and he's just gonna hold up a finger, turn back towards the Stegosaurus, cast Speak with Animals, and go, uh, my friend, a point of clarification, if you please.
Friend.
Y- You said that your herd was you were separated and your herd was lost. Um, when you meant lost, did you mean that you simply just got separated from them and they are still out there somewhere? Or did you mean that they are no longer walking around out there?
You see, he's struggling to understand, but a little kind of light in his eye appears, and he's just, oh, drink water, sharp tooth. We run. I alone.
Uh, okay. Thank you. I am sorry. And I'll kind of scratch his neck and turn back to the party. Well, it seems as if his herd was killed by the sharp tooths from the water.
See, well, common misconception in speech. The spell does its best to translate, but sometimes particular, uh, probably not the best time for that. Never mind.
But I still defend us bringing him with us. And if we find this patrol and we return to Camp Vengeance, perhaps he will have a place amongst Breakbone's forces. I'm sure they could use a beast such as this, and in return, they would provide him a new type of herd and food.
Optimism looks a lot like insanity, doesn't it?
I I don't understand. I am
No,
not
you do not
insane.
understand.
I
Druids
am
and your lot, you do not understand. Beasts like that in civilization do not mix, and they have no means of keeping it under control.
there
And
was
in a week's time,
literally
there'll be 3 sitting dead on its spikes.
there's literally a city that Emelec bought a dinosaur in.
And woefully dangerous.
Well, be that as it may, Cholt seems to be, I'm not going to say an exception, but definitely has a different culture around domestication of such creatures.
Great, they got it wrong. Look, keep your pet, but keep it away from me, and I will not defend it. If it
He
gets
is
attacked, I will do
They got
nothing.
it wrong.
he is not a pet. Stop calling him that. He is a companion.
Whatever. My point
Heladon is a
remains.
pet.
Eli kind of squints his eyes at that and he says, "Hey,
Sorry, you literally have him on a leash.
well, sometimes he needs a lesson in restraint. He'll be awfully soon enough."
Soon enough, yes. Anyhow, I will stay close to the Stegosaurus. And Flint, if you want to stay on the other side of the party, so be it. But I think you are mischaracterizing this situation.
I see things as risk and reward, and it is unequal in this case.
And I think before this adventure is over, you will change your mind.
Puh. Again, optimism and insanity. I don't know the difference anymore.
Well, on the bright side, we don't have another mission, right?
Well, I guess the mission is now get my friend here comfortable to join the people at Camp Vengeance. I really need to give you a name. You look like a Stanley.
I hate that name.
It's not a
Then,
very good name.
well, Stanley it is. How do you feel about that?
Again, the eye's just out of sync. Does not seem to have an opinion one way or the other.
Well, whenever I say Stanley, I am referring to you, my friend.
Look at
Dang.
it this way, friends. If a T Rex attacks us, the Stegosaurus will protect us. Mm.
Emelec understands.
Oh, um, you know, I won't say anything. I agree. Yes. Ryoku gives Ema like a bit of a squint, like, I know what you said.
Yes, a full belly would be a good preventative measure from it eating us too. I agree. He would save us, you're right, Zarek. Very helpful.
You are all quite mean. I'll have you know.
All? Define all. All of us? Meaning me? All of us? Even the
Re-
guides?
okay. Flint, Emelec, and yes, you, Ryuku. I understand the sarcasm undertone that you are speaking in.
It's me? Sarcasm?
Yes,
Well, that's a first. Can you tell me exactly which words were sarcasm so I can write them down for later?
it was more the whole agreeing with Emelec on his quip about
Oh,
Stanley here defending us from the T Rex because he will be the T Rex's dinner.
oh, I see. Well, then that's my apologies. I suppose I was trying to not hurt your feelings when you agreed with him, and then I thought that you thought he meant that in a good way, but in fact, I didn't think he meant that in a good way. But, and instead of just coming out and saying that, I decided to just let it go. But then Flint said it, so I thought, oh, it would have been okay if I said it, but clearly it's not okay at all because you didn't believe him at all, which I don't
Then,
know if you agreed with him.
Ryuku, I will withdraw my comment. There are only two mean people here now. Okay?
Oh, well, that's great. Thank you.
Yes.
Flynn is just massaging his head at this point. Look, I'm gonna go take a leak, and we'll head out. Good,
I'm gonna
good lords, good
I'm gonna
gods.
feed Stanley here some good berries.
Perhaps if we find those injured gods, we'll throw him on his back and have him carry him around.
See, Emelec is getting on program.
Yes, I'm the crazy one here. My apologies.
Well, apology accepted. I am glad that you have come to the understanding that you are the outlier here.
See, this is what I mean. Maybe I'm not understanding because see that I thought that is what you call sarcasm, but then you agreed, so it makes me think it wasn't sarcasm. But if I
No,
know
it
that's nice.
I was taking a jab at Flint Ryoku. You'll
Oh, that's very
understand in
nice.
time. It I know he wasn't being very nice, so I was giving it back in turn, as they say.
Ah, I see. Oh, okay then.
You studious types always. Well then, shall we press on?
Alrighty. We'll say during all this conversation, your guides also kind of came out and saw all this. Hugh just kind of like seems a little surprised for a second and then just kind of shrugs and goes back to his morning routine. Iku, like during your conversation, just very calmly and quietly walks up to Stanley and just kind of, pets him along the head and the neck, and very quietly just kind of, beautiful animal, marvelous beast. But they don't seem to be entirely or really opposed to this. But yeah, so you all do your morning routines, have your discussion about Stanley joining you all, and continue on your travels for the day. Continuing northward, I'm assuming. And yeah, Ryuko, you have the special Don't Get Lost trait. Would you like to lead with the survival roll again?
Coming in, Captain. Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Not a great roll, but since you can't get lost, it's just, a slightly slower trek in the day, but you do manage to go more or less the full journey of the day. Let's say you get to, let me go a little bit further than that. Let me get rid of this little, go. Get your full day's travel in. And the weather remains quite open and clear. Still, again, super hot, incredibly humid, but no more rain for the day. As you reach this point, Iku kind of suggests and says, perhaps we should spend some time looking for any signs or tracks of the patrol that was lost up here. Perhaps we can determine what happened to them and which direction they went.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
A swell idea.
Alrighty. Whoever would like to lead said search, give me a survival check. We'll say at advantage since, we'll just say all of you are kind of assisting, or at the very least, the guides are assisting.
I'll cast guidance too to give you the sight beyond sight to help out.
There you go. Ryoku, since being the tracker, she'll go ahead and do it. So this is at advantage with a +3.
Nice.
Okay, very nice. You have definitely been traveling in the right direction. There are clear signs that they passed through here. Though, as you kind of reach the end of the day's journey, you do notice that there are signs of... It's hard to make out with your super high survival, though. Some sort of battle, some sort of encounter. There are very interesting looking darts and arrows kind of embedding the ground. You do come across, looks like, as you kind of like dig through some of the brush, there are in fact one or two like pieces of armor or a sword or things like that kind of laying in the muck. It looks like the patrol might have been caught off guard, ambushed by someone or something. And again, with that survival, it looks like they were taken and dragged maybe off to the kind of northeast of where you are.
Oh no. And you're sure? Well, I mean, yes, I know you're sure, but we did find it together. Okay, very well. Well, so good news and some very, very bad news. From what we have found, it seems as though there's a chance that the gods are still alive, at least for a short time. And then the really, really bad news is that it seems as though someone with, well, some great knowledge of the surrounding forest in itself might have ambushed them and then knock them out some way and drag them off. What direction again? No, to the northeast. No bodies though, or blood, just pieces of armor. So nobody's dead that we know of yet.
Seems we're at
Yeah.
a clinch for time. We should make haste.
Yeah, we should continue, though I'll take a minute to investigate, well, into the crime, as it were. Maybe I can, well, one, I want to see if those dots are poisonous. That'll give us some intel to prepare on, and I might look at their tracks as well, see if I can figure out numbers or type of thing that might have done this.
Go ahead and point everything out to him. With my research of Cholt, would I have are there any markings on the darts or anything that I would recognize and be able to tell him about or help him with?
Sure. Give me, I mean, it's a really good survival, but we'll say this is more of a bit of a history check. See how
Okay,
much you
so
remember of, specific details of things.
I remember nothing apparently.
Yeah, I'd say the most you get, these are clearly tribal in nature. Um, I'd even say they're a little bit just marginally smaller than the average, like comparing them to your own arrows and things. They're just a little bit shorter and smaller. But aside from that, you can't really make out much else.
Gotcha.
Flint, you're doing some kind of investigation or something. Would you like to roll an investigation check?
Yes, I would. Flint holds his hand out, it glows a golden yellow color, as his eyes also shift into more of a golden color as well. Casting guidance.
Okay. Unfortunately, the history roll was not very good, so this will just be a straight roll. Okay, the 4 definitely helps. Um, some of the darts do appear to have some sort of poison or something on them, tipped in some kind of substance. You do notice a couple of small yet deeply imprinted uh, footprints. Uh, Clearly smaller than an average, humans or dwarf or someone like that. Um, but they do seem to be quite deeply embedded into the mud. There's also a couple of little small pools of blood in some of the areas. No signs of bodies, but in some spots it's a significant amount of blood.
Well, it looks like they got beat up pretty bad. Not outright knocked out, they bled for their trouble. But they're such small footprints. I don't know what man of humanoid would make such a thing, but they're deep too. No kind of footprint I ever saw in Waterdeep, that's for sure. But they are wielding poisonous darts, so be on your guard if you get hit once. Gonna cause other effects besides a little prick.
Iku, any indication of, or have you heard of anything that might be similar to this?
He kind of looks over some of the tracks and hears what you all have come up with, and well, I cannot be certain. I would guess or assume that it would be a Batiri tribe. A, kind of like scratches her chin briefly. A, goblin tribe. They are known to roam the jungle.
Oh, oh. Well, that doesn't bode well now, does it?
Yeah, tribe of goblins out here on their home turf. They're wily and cunning, hard to pin down. Be a difficult operation.
Yes, indeed, they live in the jungle. This is their home more than most. We should proceed with caution.
Yeah, slow and steady. I'll keep taking the lead, Ryoko. We'll be behind you, but careful, careful.
Careful, yes. Gotcha. Will do.
Okay, so you guys are going to continue on through the night?
Oh, what time is it?
It's definitely like evening getting to be nighttime. You guys have traveled for a full day when you found these tracks. Kind of used like the last light of the day to figure all this out.
How fresh is everything? Are we talking like a day or two, a week? What are we looking at?
Running with your previous survival check, I'd say it again, it's hard to tell with the rains and the storms that rolled through, especially the previous day's storm. Um, some of them seem older than others. Um, Definitely within the past few days, like maybe
Okay.
2 or 3, but less than a week. And I think Breakbone said that his patrol had left more than a week ago.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, well, from everything that we've seen, it seems like it's only been, well, perhaps a few days since this particular incident has happened. If they don't live particularly close, they would have to travel all the way back. Well, so we still might have some time. Well, what do you all think?
Yeah, that might be time. They might be saving them to sacrifice to Maglubiet. Hopefully not. But I think we'd still be rewarded for our efforts in confirming their demise. I say we still go. But we're not going to be able to ambush them because, you know.
There's no glory in ambushes, anyways. We'll face them head on, crush them, and save our bounty.
Ah, you do know that goblins can have large tribes, packs?
I've dealt with many a goblin. Fret not, friend. I'll make sure they are slain and that you survive.
Ah, okay then.
I don't think I'd want you for a hostage situation.
I have you know that one of my defining moments was me rescuing people from a band of raiding goblins. Trust me.
Well, you certainly showed your stuff when you fought the snakes out of the trees. I'll trust you, just make sure you blast the ones closest to the soldiers, yeah?
By Bahamut's word, by his fang, by his talon. Claw.
If it's in the name of Bahamut, Yes, we will do it this way.
Okay. So are you bedding down for a long rest tonight, or are you pushing on and taking some exhaustion?
Sure.
Uh, we're gonna risk exhaustion.
I, I can sacrifice an ability check just to spike some fools. What do you?
I'll bring enhance ability so we can at least negate the exhaustion of whoever is doing the survival check, just to give us a chance to catch up to these people.
All right. Yeah, I'm fine with that. If Emelec and Flint want to keep on going, knowing how important it is to them, we'll carry on.
Okay. Sounds like 3 votes for pushing on, 1 for potentially stopping. Davin, do you have an opinion here?
Oh, and
You're breaking up again, man. Sorry.
son of a bitch. All right. So, so tired, but we're so close. So we're gonna keep going.
Okay. Pushing on through the night. Um, I understand we're about to go over a little bit, but this is coming up to a really good stopping point, I think. So we'll just do a little bit more. Um, Go ahead and throw me a survival check. I assume Ryuko. Normally, I'd say at advantage. You don't even need it. Doesn't matter. So you definitely push on through the night. The tracks are a little difficult to follow, but you do head northeast, and you get about a little more than halfway through the night when you kind of hear some drumming, and you see some looks like firelight just barely breaking through the trees and the brush and such. It sounds like there's clearly some, music going on and chanting and a couple of, shrieks and shouts and such. Um, and what you come upon, if I can find it, and if Roll20 loads properly. Go. You're kind of coming from the south-ish. Yeah, what you end up coming upon, you see a couple of kind of, break through the brush and such, and don't get quite too close. And I'm only putting your tokens on here so it can kind of give you an idea. So give
Still
me
on
a
the main
sec.
screen.
I know. I'll get you there in a second.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm just trying to go. Okay, so what you kind of come upon this site. You see multiple fires burning. There's a bunch of makeshift huts from skins and leathers and things. Um, and you see a bunch of goblin-sized people, uh, all going about different work or celebrations or chanting or rituals. A vast majority of them seem to be wearing these wooden masks over their face, on decorated and very differently with like feathers and paints and stuff like that, little bones. Um, and yeah, you basically have just kind of found your way just on the outskirts of some sort of goblin village. And that is where we are pretty much going to end this evening.
I want
Interesting
one of those
opportunity.
masks.
Sneak
Um,
attack.
Will Stanley be able to join in combat?
Potentially. Right now, I'm not. You're not. You guys aren't really even quite this close. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick little visual of what you're
Okay.
seeing. To get actually this close, we'll do this like stealth rolls and all that shit when it comes
Yeah.
up. But just for right now, this is where the kind of cliffhanger is going to be. Where you kind of just barely break through the brush and kind of see this from a distance.
Stealth roll.
Stealth?
Like, ginormous creature.
I mean, if you want to sneak
Who said
in,
anything about stealth?
I mean,
I said
yeah.
we head in there face first and just crush.
okay.
Stanley's gonna one-shot these little guys, and I need one of those masks.
Okay. Make sure you all mark on your character sheets that you have a point of exhaustion so we don't forget for next time. And yeah, that'll be where we end the session this evening. Good job, guys.
You guys get to see the flame tongue of Bruma in his element.